Hi, I'm Michelle Grunwald. In the real world, I teach students at my tutor center. Here in the cyber world, I show you, the parents or grandparents, the programs and teaching techniques I've developed over the past 30 years as a homeschool mom, classroom instructor, and professional tutor, so you can teach your own children right at home. In this third video in the handwriting series, you'll see how I teach students to print capital letters correctly. If you haven't seen the first two videos, the links are below this video, and I strongly recommend you watch them in order so you'll have the tools and skills you need to teach your children properly. Oh, and be sure to watch to the end. I share some great techniques I use to help my students apply their new skills to improve their learning success. After all, a new skill is only valuable if it can be used. Welcome to Yellow Pad Videos. Whether you're a parent, grandparent, or anyone who wants to help a child learn, this is your channel to learn exactly how to do it. Every lesson is quick, simple, and fun, and always about excellence. So if you're new here or haven't yet joined the community, click the subscribe button below and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos when they're uploaded. Since staying fresh on prerequisite skills is the foundation to excellence, let's do a quick review of what we've covered so far. In the first video, I explained the supplies and tools I use with my students, why I use them, and how they can save you tons of time and money. There are only a few. They hardly cost anything, but they make a huge difference for the student. They are the six-sided wooden number 2 pencil, a small handheld sharpener, quality erasers. You're going to want to have several of these. And these are optional, no rubbery grips. And finally, the most important, manuscript paper. Now, this is the paper with the horizontal roll, got 2 solid lines, and the dotted line in the middle to separate tall letters from small letters. Be sure you've got the correct width for your child's age level, which of course is covered in the first video. I also demonstrated proper grip on the pencil, about an inch from the end, the thumb and the forefinger holding onto it, and the second finger behind it resting, like that, as well as the hand placement on the paper. Now, because of the video, I can't turn this. Your paper would be approximately a 45-degree angle to the student, but I'm putting it straight so you can watch this without having to turn your head. Oops, there we go. The hand is placed up on the table, so your arm is resting comfortably on the table, not hanging off the edge. And, very important, the hand is rolled almost so the wrist is almost flat down. Not quite. It's not set on the side of the hand, but almost flat wrist. There it is, right there. And then when you pull your fingers toward you, you get a perfectly straight line. I'll be demonstrating that again later for you. In the second video, you learned how to print all 26 lowercase letters using my 3 simple strokes, and I'll demonstrate those. Now, I'm not using a number 2 pencil because I want you to be able to see it, so I'm using a nice heavy Sharpie marker. Okay, the 3 basic strokes are frowns. Notice I'm keeping this under the dotted line. You start below the dotted line, and you go up and around. That's kind of an upside down spot. It's a frown. And you practice until it's very comfortable and you naturally get the same even stroke over and over again. Those are frowns. And then we have chairs. They have a back and a seat. So they go down, up and around, and that's a chair. Down, up and around. See how easy that is? And the third stroke is the sticks. All the letters that are made with straight lines. Like an L or a K. Sticks, but there's 3 of them. 2, 3. Now, I know I've mentioned this before, but if you haven't watched the first 2 videos, please go watch them now. Trying to jump in on video number 3 like this is like trying to bake cookies with half the ingredients missing. If you don't have any flour, you're not going to have any cookies. Okay, you can find them both on my homepage. Just click on the little circle with the T in it to take you to the homepage, and then you can choose your videos and watch them at your leisure. Now, we're about to move on to the capital letters, but real quick, before we do, don't forget to watch to the end. Learning a new skill from scratch can be overwhelming at first, and I'll share some ideas to help your children learn and apply these new skills efficiently so they don't end up getting overwhelmed. Now, the capital letters use pretty much the same strokes as the lowercase letters, but since we've already mastered the basic strokes and we've practiced using them, become comfortable with the lowercase letters, it's important to be able to mix them up. So I'm just going to go up through the alphabet from A to Z, and I'll be naming the strokes as I go through the letters. Okay, first letter, A. From the top down, it sticks. Be careful with this. It's difficult to get the angle on both sides even. Make sure your children practice plenty. You're going to see a lot of this. Or you might see this. And furthermore, you could see just really fat letters. That's okay. Have them practice. Keep modeling for them. So remember, you're going to need to make sure you can make these letters nice and clean. Second letter, B. Notice I'm going from the top down from one solid line to the next. This starts out like a chair. Straight down. Then you go up and around, up and around. You'll notice the bottom one's a little bit bigger than the top circle. Technically, that's correct. Don't push that with the kids. They'll get it. Okay, now the C is a perfect frown, just like the lowercase letter. Instead of under the dotted line, you start it near the top, you go up and around. There you go. D is more like a chair. Down, up and around. E is all sticks. Down, over. Now the middle line is actually shorter than the top and bottom line, so these two stick out a little bit. See how it doesn't come out as far? The F is exactly like the E without that bottom line. So it's top down, nice and long on top, medium on the bottom. Now I'm going to come down to the next line. G is a frown letter, up and around, and then a line across it. Notice the lines when we cross them on all the letters. The middles are always on the dotted lines. That's what that's for, to help get into your muscle memory the size and shape of the letters and the breaks in the letters. That way you get a nice even flow. H is all sticks, two down, and again, one across. Notice also, when you're doing capital letters, generally speaking, the horizontal line at the dotted line is the last stroke because it takes you to the end so you can start your next letter. I, sticks, down, and over, over, always left to right, so you end where you're going to start your next letter. Now, J is a stick. Just happens to have a hook on the end at the top. Now, the capital K, I think, is interesting. Most people don't realize it's different from the lowercase, and I'll demonstrate both. Stick straight down. Notice I picked my pencil up. Come up, and the stick comes straight into the middle. Now, the third stroke, you move over a little bit. See a little tiny space in there? It's three separate strokes. Down, over, over. All right, now watch the lowercase k. Down. And it's one more stroke, in, out. Doink, doink. See the difference? Okay, capital L is sticks, down and over. Now the M can be a little confusing. Practice it. Make sure you have plenty of time and reassure the children. Take the time to practice. It'll come. And don't stress when they can't get it right. The M is made like an A, and it gets spread way across the paper. That's not an M. The sides of the M come straight down. The middle is slanted, and the side is straight down. Okay, now some people make their M's like this. Either way is fine. But notice, the first stroke is top down, and now I lift my pencil and go back up to where I started and go down, up, down. It's not up, down, up, down. The first stroke is always down, and then go back to it for the rest of them. The N is done the same way, straight down, lift your pencil, go back to the top, and you go over and then straight up. Okay, it's very tempting to get this. Okay, it looks like a V and it gets all spread out. Sometimes it just helps to have the student practice a straight down stroke, then it's over and then straight up. The next letter is the O, the perfect frown letter, up and around. Whoops, too skinny. Let's try that again. There we go. Nice round O. The P is a chair letter. Down, up and around. And notice the top circle is above but ends on the dotted line. Now, Q is up and around. It's just like the O. The hook in the corner sticking off to the right. From the inside out. Look where I've ended, right where I start my next letter. R, down, up and around. And now, again, like the K, I move out a little. There's that tiny little space right there. Let's try that again. Down, up and around, so it looks like a P. Then you move over a little, like that. There's your R. Okay, S is a frown letter, just like the lowercase. And then you switch over to the smile. Again, this one is very difficult to master getting it straight up and down. It ends up slanting back or this way. So just keep practicing. The students will get it. It's really fun to see this beautiful handwriting coming from little ones. T is a perfect stick, and then cross at the top. U is just like the lowercase. Start at the top, go all the way down, and then swoop and come all the way straight up and straight down again. It's not very straight. One more time. Down, around, and up, and then down. There's that little space right there. Notice we're not making these and then doing this. That's not a Q, okay? We don't make it like that. Q is the only one that has the stick crossed through it. Okay, the rest of these are made by simply continuing the line. Okay, V is the stick, down at an angle and up at an angle. Again, getting the angles on both sides of the V can be challenging. So take your time with this and make sure students have plenty of practice. W, just like the M, it gets really wide when students want to go over, 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 over. Just help them practice keeping the slant a little bit tighter. I'm going to move the paper, make this easier. Okay, much better. There we go. Okay, it's down. You can do it halfway and then up, or you can do it the whole way. Either way. Again, keeping this nice and tight and clean takes practice. Just have to keep trying. For the little ones, I will make dots for goals. They start here and end here. There's your middle. So they try and get it partway in between there. Gives them something to go for so they don't spread out too much. Okay, X is just the stick. Again, either way, I go top down, right to left, and then top down, left to right. And I've ended where I'm going to start. Some students make it left to right, then right to left. That's fine. The Y, now on this one, there's two ways to make this. The old-fashioned way is to make a V in the top half and a straight stick. That's fine. Or you can make it like a lowercase and just come straight across there. Technically, that's a capital Y. Lots of people make it that way. I think it's fine today. Okay, now Z, believe it or not, is very difficult for a lot of children. Over, that's the easy part, but getting this slant all the way back over to this line, and then going straight across, that is really challenging. Some students, especially older ones, like to cross the Z in the middle. That's European, and they like putting the line in. I let them. I wouldn't argue about it unless they're struggling with the Z. Then you can suggest, let's get the basic shape right first. Then, later, we can cross it. And that is all there is. As quick as it is, remember what it takes for excellence. Practice, practice, and when you're done, practice. And once your student gets to the point where they can make the letters properly, nice, clean, straight M's instead of the big wide ones, that is the time that they start practicing. First, they have to get it right. That's just the beginning. Now, once they get it right, they can start practicing keeping it right. You don't practice until you get it right. You practice until you're comfortable consistently getting it right. Well, that's it. In the first video, I shared with you the short list of inexpensive but high-quality supplies I use with my students. Pencil, sharpener, erasers, optional grips, and of course, the all-important manuscript paper. Total cost, around $5. Definitely no more than 10. In the second video, I taught you the 3 basic strokes that I teach my students at the Tutor Center, and how to use them to form lowercase letters. And finally, in this video, I've showed you how to form the 26 uppercase letters with the very same strokes. Now it's time for today's tip. Today I'd like to share just one tip because it's an important one. You'll hear me say a certain number of words over and over again. These are the keys to excellence, so don't ignore them. Properly is probably the most common word. Practice is another one. At the beginning of each video, I explain that I teach students how to learn. And there'll be lots of videos coming on that subject because this really is huge. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. One aspect of learning is understanding where you are in the process. And handwriting, being such a physical process, is a perfect opportunity to help a student understand this. Now, there's a lot of different ways to break down learning, and I like to break them down myself into 4 different stages. And these are the levels of learning you can actually discuss with your students. You can't ask them to learn, focus, pay attention, spend time practicing if they don't know why they're doing it. The first level of learning is the gatherer. You're actually gathering information together, maybe doing research, or you're watching a demonstration, you're gathering your materials together and getting ready to try a new skill. The second level is called a novice. This is where you pick up your pencil and you put down the paper and you try the new skill yourself. It probably won't work well the first time. So you're going to try several times and keep trying and keep improving until you can repeat the skill accurately. Now, this is where most students think they're done learning, but the truth is you've just begun learning. This level is novice, beginner, amateur. If you really want to get good, this is the point where you begin sincere practice. In school, it's when the teachers give homework. The practitioner, which is a great word because you're practicing, is the one who knows how to, in this case, for handwriting, make the strokes properly and create proper letters, nice and neat. It might be a little slow, but they've done it several times. Now they're going to continue paying attention to their neatness and their accuracy and focus on improving their skills. With that comes comfort and speed. You don't focus on trying to get faster or trying to get more comfortable. You simply continue focusing on accuracy, neatness, and comfort, and the rest of it comes with that. And finally, the 4th level, the expert level, once you have learned your skill, tried it yourself so that you can actually do the work yourself correctly. Remember, that's only a novice. And then practiced it several times so that you're comfortable with it. Now you're starting to pick up speed and you're going to continue practicing and paying attention to your skill and your accuracy until you don't even think about it anymore, like driving a car. It becomes what people today like to say, it gets ingrained in muscle memory, something you don't have to think about consciously. Of course, your brain is thinking about it subconsciously, but you don't have to focus on it. That's expert level. And handwriting must be practiced till you get to the expert level because you need your brain to think about other things like what word do I want to write? How do I spell it? What's the next word? You have to keep track of the coherency of a sentence or you'll get lost. All of that takes current brain power. So you don't want to be thinking about what letter do I want? How do I form that letter? Does that look right? Remember the brain-hand argument in the first video? You don't want to get into that. And the only way to avoid that is to learn it by watching these videos, getting the proper supplies and trying them yourself. Practice until you're comfortable, and then remember to continue practicing. It takes time. That's the bad news. The good news is it only takes a few minutes each time through. Don't marathon this. It won't help. Okay, it's like trying to eat all the meals for your week on Monday morning so you don't have to eat all week. That's not going to work. You've got to spread it out. So just do a few minutes each day. Try each letter 1 or 2 times. If you do that, you'll find at first it might take 10 minutes. Eventually it's taking 2 minutes. And pretty soon, you'll realize that you're actually printing accurately without it being practiced. You're actually writing an assignment or a note or helping your children now. And they're the ones that are going to be working on following your technique. And that's how we learn how to learn, or at least a tiny part of it. There'll be more coming. And I will see you on the next video. If you've enjoyed this one or it's helped, please give it a thumbs up and a like. And don't forget to go back and watch the other videos. You can find them on my homepage. Just click on the orange circle with the T. And if you'd like more information, because the next set of videos is cursive, and there'll be plenty of tips for helping your student become a better learner in the classroom. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you know when I put up new videos.